Hi, it's Angie. I'm just kind of popping on here, kind of responding on my YouTube channel to a couple of ridiculous comments that I heard out there. I think it was Garagos and the guy from. I'm just wrapping some presents, by the way. I'm not going to show you in case you tell my husband. But anyways, I'm just kidding. But Garagos, is that his name? Greg Garagos, the lawyer for the Menendez brothers, and that starting to kind of question that Harvey Levenstein guy. You know, it'll be a cold day in hell that I would ever suggest that Nick doesn't get the death penalty. They seem to be speaking on behalf of Rob Reiner, that there's no way in hell Rob Reiner would want his son to get the death penalty. We don't know what Rob Reiner would want, for God's sakes. He's dead, okay? Do you think that if he had a choice between living and dying the way he died, it's almost like they're making it look like he was a sacrificial lamb. Like, isn't he a grandfather? I just had to come out and talk about this because I just find that a lot of people are talking through their hat about this Rob Reiner, and I hope, though, as well, that it does get televised, because it feels like there's a lot of pompous people out here. Pompous means I just have to say some of the sports, some of the commentators are coming from very pompous people, okay? A lot of them are, well, I'd have to say it. I don't know if they're cerebral empaths or cerebral narcissists, but, you know, and a lot of them, this other one as well, they're talking about the sense of entitlement, the financial, they're trying to create a narrative here that he was a spoiled brat, but what about the people that are dealing with mental illness that don't come from money, you know, that are basically destitute? And I'm tired of hearing that because Nick was privileged, or he came from a privileged family, that I don't know how to say this, but I don't think we're going to learn too much about what the mental illness the way that they think they will, because you know, like, it already fell on deaf ears. Look at, he had all the money in the world, $70,000 a month facilities, and the man child was still able to escape the grips of some of the leading, I'm sure these are leading psychiatrists or therapists. So what does that tell you? It tells me a lot. It tells me that we don't make a deal with the devil. That's what it tells me. It's going to get to the point where people are probably going to have to start understanding spirituality a little bit more, and the soul's journey, because or starting to understand karmic cycles, and because there is a cycle of abuse. So I just wanted to say that because for whatever reason, we don't really understand. I'm a firm believer in reincarnation, so we don't know Rob Reiner's reason. You know, because I was thinking about Rumi, his daughter. Maybe this will shift her life's purpose into something else, and into teaching people how to cope with a family member. They're almost alluding to the fact that they would defend their brother. You know, I'm a proponent or an advocate of walking away and keeping away, because the way I look at things, because this is like this is like an absolute horror movie, they said, if we were to see the pictures of Rob and Michele. But I'm a proponent of walking away and keeping away, because it's the blood relation that keeps us ensnared. And because I'm always of the idea that I don't want to come back. I don't want to have to come back and learn narcissistic abuse all over again. So I'm kind of like, that's my whole theme of my channel is, when you recognize it, you walk away and you keep away, because you know, and maybe perhaps learning a little bit about more, maybe this is morbid, it would have been morbid, maybe learning a little bit more about tarot and things of that sort. So because I'm or tea leaves, this is why the tea leaves, right? I didn't get my tea leaves yet. So so I think I'm just kind of wrapping a little bit here. Coco's kind of helping me pick out the wrapping paper. So I'm just going to get my cards, and I will do a tea leaf reading later. Just 1 second here. My back is killing me too. Just 1 minute. New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. You know, that's kind of a song, but that's what it kind of feels like. That is kind of like a concrete jungle. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. So let's see what is going to come out here. I like these lovely little bows. Okay, so we'll see what cards are going to come out here. Let me get this out here. I got so much stuff here. We had a fantastic day. I did meet some former co-workers again of mine. You know, they weren't all nasty, not all of them, but if you attract a beast, this is a wildebeest that Rob Reiner had for a son. We don't understand a lot of things, but all I know is he had a severe drug addiction, and coupled with his mental disorder, this is a recipe for disaster. It's like that 70's show. Remember that guy on the 70's shows? 70's show? Anyways, yeah, that's GR Old LaSalle. Looked great. Those were the days. That's that's from All in the Family. Okay, now we'll see what cards are going to come out here. I'm just doing, you know, I just feel that this Nick guy has a little bit of pee running down his leg. I think he's scared shitless. I just don't I don't buy it. I don't buy half the stuff with what they're preaching out there. I think this was a cerebral psychopath. I think this was what we would call, he could turn it up a notch, and this is an aware wolf or an aware psychopath that knew exactly what he was doing. He planned this. I think he pre-planned this. That's my take on it. So I'm going to see, this some kind of Starsky and Hutch. I loved all those movies. And I wanted to say something about Carol Burnett here, but okay. I'm so glad we had this time together. Yeah, right. It was a slaughterhouse. It really was. Apparently what he did they possibly were unrecognizable. Okay, so let's see what first card. This wasn't dainty by any means. This is the catfish. Feels like, I think maybe what Nick Reiner has done is he's catfished a lot of people out there. Because I think this was a pre-planned. This is just my opinion. This is different strokes for different folks. But I think there was a lot of deep, dark envy between this. And he betrayed. That's what narcissistic psychopaths, schizophrenics, they're dangling this schizophrenia card. Yes, perhaps, but I think there's way more to this. And I think this is like a frumpy cat. Well, you know how I feel about the Swifties out there. She's kind of hiding underneath the radar out there, but this is, they bait and abuse you. So we'll see what else comes out here. Didn't need a welfare state. GR Old LaSalle looked great. This is the legend, wow. You know, he bought that house. His father was Carl Reiner. He bought that house that some other famous guy lived in. I can't remember the name. I think it was Henry Fonda. I thought I brought up that day. Yeah, this is put Daisy. Something with Daisy here. Black cars look better in the shade. That's a Gino Vanelli card. Okay, so I do get a lot of lyrics, so it's going to mean something to somebody out there. You know what? There is seriously a message coming in with this buck. That's an Italian person out there. Is that it? These were Jewish people, I believe. But this card is coming in all the time. This is the third time there's a message in here. This person died. He was an Italian. He was a biker. He was a badass biker. I don't know what the message is in here. This is the one that love bombs you. Black cars look better in the shade. I don't know. I don't know why that darn card keeps coming up, you know? Okay. G.R.O. LaSalle look great. You know, that reminds me of a former community that we were going to move in. Move into. I'm not sure. That's the beggar card, begging for forgiveness. That could be it, right? They're saying that you've got these lawyers talking. Harvey's saying he's going to plead insanity. The Greg Garagos is saying something different. They have kind of like a different YouTube channel going on out there. G.R.O. LaSalle look great. This wasn't all in the family. Okay, so I'm taking, yeah. Oh, you know, I love this card. I absolutely love this card. This is my son, who I call Prince Simon. Now, I was trying to have a conversation with my son today, and, you know, all I'm going to say is I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for being here. And, you know, I made tough decisions. I made the choice to walk away and keep away. And I like to talk about breaking generational curses. And because when there's that mental illness in the family, it's almost like you have to walk away to keep away to break that generational curse. And things happen for a reason. I'm a fatalist as well. And so we'll see what other cards come out here. G.R.O. LaSalle looked great. We shrunk our family. And sometimes you have to make tough decisions. Blood or no blood. That blood relationship can kill you. Killed my father at a young age. That is the hysteria and the paranoia. That's what they got caught up in. These are mental illnesses that you can't cure here. And I used to want to say to my father, what were you fighting for? You're fighting a mental illness that there is no cure for. Okay. So I don't even know if I'm going to post this video. We'll see what happens. I've said it already. Narcissism or these mental illnesses are baked in someone. I remember within 3 years ago, I was watching TV at night because we do get a lot of American television. And there was a commercial, Carmine. You know, that's that Penny Marshall. I think Penny Marshall was a force to be reckoned with. But I remember watching a commercial, and they were advertising medication for schizophrenia, and it was on late at night. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I thought they're treating this schizophrenia like it's a flu. I said, how could you be advertising schizophrenia medication? So I don't know if it's that the DSL, the diagnostic stuff, that they're going to have to revisit and eventually maybe rethink all of this stuff, because I think the younger generation is facing something. Because if Nick gets off on this, then because that's the Substitute Decisions Act, that took away everybody's right to do anything and put somebody in these mental institutions. They redid all that. And they may have to rethink this in the future, because if Nick Reiner gets off, that is almost a license to kill there. That's almost, that's just going to unleash a lot of excuses, I would say. Okay, so let's take one here from the, no, we're not doing the guardian angel, but they're going to have to teach people about guardian angels, and because group therapy doesn't seem to work. It doesn't work. All that works is you run for your life, get out and stay out, because you're fighting something that they don't have. They don't have love for you. They don't. I'm talking about the psychopath, Sarah Nara. That's what I would say. Well, this is interesting. This is that twin flame. This reminds me of that twin flame universe out there. Those psychopaths. That's that Jeff and Megan. that they're kind of like in the Sports Hall of Fame, or there's a Hall of Fame here. They created some really nasty content out there about this twin flame. Even that is described as a cult. But this is the Justice card, or Justice for All. This is the Libra card. I do love this card. Comes up every so often. Trailers for sale or rent. Rooms for just 50 cents. Man means by no means king of the road. That's the kind of the mindset of these entitled, narcissistic, antagonistic. I'm the king of the road. Okay, so that's the lawyer card as well. So they're probably, he's got a legal team probably equivalent to a Johnny Cochran. The legal team this guy's got. If he gets off, you know, I'm thinking of the other end. You know, they have to really do a dissection here. There's an heirloom in here or something. Trailers for sale or rent, because they have an incredible defense team. He's got an incredible defense team now. This Nick Rhinoceros. Rhino. Did he have a nose job? Well, yeah, maybe that means, was he doing cocaine? I don't know. But sometimes you have to keep your nose on your own face. That's what that is. People sticking their noses where it doesn't belong. You know, in some cases, I'm not trying to say that word, instances, you're blamed for you're blamed for being crazy. I've said it so many times. The one that's being blamed, that's calling people crazy, is the crazy one themselves. I don't even know if you can use that word. Okay. That's all by the damn stamp. It's turning into like a Saturday Night Live show here. I'm already 16 minutes in. Like, what am I talking about? But I'm in a beautiful place. I feel safe. And it's all about safety. It's, you know, in Russia, you wouldn't be able to get away with that. Or in North Korea, you wouldn't be able to be able to talk and openly talk like that. Okay, so they may have to rethink all of this stuff. This is my return to sender card. Because, you know, I think they're even trying to say that was he diagnosed with Asperger's or autism. He probably checks off so many boxes on that spectrum. He's just probably off the charts here. Okay. Spiritual Sag. This is a fantastic tarot card reader, tarot. But you know, they may have to start revisiting some traditional stuff like tarot. Tarot helped me heal an incredible event of my life. So maybe this is the time when they're going to be looking at other things, where psychics come in or tarot card readers come in. It's not juju anymore. Okay, so I'm just taking another one here. I am blissfully tired. I'm not blitzed out. I'm just blissfully tired. I had a fantastic day today. It was just beautiful here. And I know I look a little bit wrecked. I'm tired. But the Edmonds Fitzgerald, you know, that's the wreck. Oh, no, that's the wreck of the old 97. That's my, yeah. I don't know. I just think that if they think that this Nick guy is going to get off, I think it would be really devastating. Okay. Thank you to my spirit guides for being here, and blessed as my prayers are always answered in the perfection of time. So we'll see what the messages are. This is just our, you know, Art Carney. It was just like a, you know, I'm watching, is this the honeymooners? Maybe, I think Nick and Rob and Michele, I think they had a really happy marriage. Okay, let's see what comes out here. There, this poison mushroom. This is the pot card. This is the pot calling the kettle black. But that's poison in the family. That's like a poison weed in the family when you have someone that has that type of mental illness. This is not your average everyday depression. I've said it earlier. This is a force to be reckoned with. It's almost like it's dancing in the dark. It's almost like you're dancing with the devil. I said it all. I've said it so many times. When you stop dancing with the devil, then you don't wonder why you're in hell. We don't make deals with the devil. that means all this negotiation stuff, they better really be seriously looking at what they're doing, because they could be setting the bar high so hard, or high here, that high hopes, right? I don't know. That's poison. Okay, so that's kind of the international card as well, because I think everybody's going to be watching this case, because they said that if it does go to trial, this could be as big as the O.J. Simpson case. And I think this one, this mental illness stuff that's going on the planet everywhere now because of social media, would really be an eye-opener. So this, I don't know. Let's see what happens. So the cake is baked. You cannot unbake this. You cannot change this. Trailers for sale or rent. Rooms for this 50. That's the defense. That's a defend card. Do I even have this? I hope I don't have this on. That is really interesting. They come with an incredible, incredible defense. That's a defending team. Trailers for sale or rent. Okay, so this is the Guardian Angel card deck, and I'm just taking one because I'm really tired and I look tired. And I'm going to go and join Coco right there. And you got to be tuned in to tune in. Okay, so this is it. Have a wonderful evening. You know, I said it's kind of like cookie cutters, but maybe it's not. Oops. We'll see what comes out of the deck here. Gonna have to be praying here to your archangels. Sandalphon. Maybe that's just going to be an introduction to way the world is going to go, because you got to start talking to your guardian angels, archangels. They're always there for you. Powerful guardian angels take your prayers and answer them. So, well, I guess it's stay tuned, I guess, because we got the legal beagles out here. Fear, frustration, and anxiety is a combination platter when you have a severe person that has a severe, this is way past dyslexia, that has, that wants to hurt you and is determined to hurt you. And it just feels to me that Nick Reiner set it into his head, and he was a ticking time bomb. I would have to agree with Nancy Grace. I'm on Team Grace for this. Take care. It's all done. Enjoy.